Well, good morning. Hope you're having a great day so far. We're up and early at 'em again today. I'm going to have to take a break from the kitchen remodel for a while this morning. I've got to run into Lowe's, which is about 35-40 minute drive from our place down the mountain to get into town and go to Lowe's and get some material that we're needing. That's one of the things about homesteading. There's always something you need. If someone tells you that homesteading it can be a free lifestyle, it's not. There's always something you need that you cannot get yourself, that you have to do repairs, to fix something, to allow you to be independent and sustainable in some way. So all you can do is try to make sure you have in stock whatever you have need of, and that way you can do as much as you can to be sustainable. So anyway, that's part of what we're doing here. Now, one of the things I've not talked about a lot, in fact, hardly at all, I don't think, is the idea of sustainability and nutrition in your homestead. That's always been a goal of ours for many years, to be able to have a nutritious lifestyle, a healthy lifestyle, and one that's sustainable as much by ourselves. Um, we have canned foods, freeze dried foods. I'm sorry, not freeze dried, just dried foods um, for a number of years. Uh, we dehydrate, we can, we freeze, we do everything we can to have foods available to us, um, at a lower cost, and to have it available when it may not be available other ways. Now, I say at a lower cost. Everything has a startup cost, whether you're buying a canner, whether you're buying jars, whether you're buying lids, whether you're buying a dehydrator or a vacuum sealer. There's cost to that. Now, through the years, we've been able to buy most of those things and have them available, just one thing at a time, though, because we're like most of you, we're on a very limited budget. So if you're looking at homesteading, understand that those things cost money, and you may not have a source of income other than some type of retirement or something, okay, if you're no longer working outside the home. So that's one of the things that you need to consider in doing that. About a couple of years ago, I started getting into trying to make our own bread, just hit or miss some. And about a year ago, I got really serious about it as I did more research and found out all the bad stuff that's in our white bread. I mean, take a look at the label on a loaf of bread that you buy at the store. Half the stuff you can't even pronounce properly. And it's all preservatives, things to make your bread rise, things to make it sustainable on the shelf for a long period of time. The flour itself, they take nutrition out of it to get sustainability for them on a shelf product. Okay, uh, the bread that you buy, it has poisons, and one of the poisons that they put in, I believe it's called bromide, is what they use to spray fruit trees to kill the bugs, and yet they put it in our bread, which is unusual because I guess it's not unusual for America, but in Europe and other places, they've banned the use of these things. And yet in America, we keep putting them in. Why? Because it makes it last longer for the manufacturer, and they're able to sell it and make more money that way. Did you know that about 1904, I believe it was, they came up with a way to make flour sustainable? If you mill wheat and make it into flour and put it in a shelf on a bag, and big bags, whatever, after a short while it starts going bad. It turns rancid because of the oils and bran in the wheat germ and the wheat itself. So they found a way to fix that. What they did is they started milling it, sifting out the bran and wheat. They found a way to fix that by milling it and then sifting out the nutrient parts, really the bran and the wheat, and it would last on the shelf for a long time. The problem is it takes out all the nutrients. Okay, wheat has 44 or 40 different nutrients in it, minerals, vitamins, and those things by itself. When they get done milling it, it has like 12, 15 maybe. In fact, at that time, after that, they saw a vast decline in the health of people in America. And they started doing research and found out is because people now had readily available flour and readily available pre-made wheat bread that they could buy, and it had no nutritional value in it. And they began to get rickets. They began to have problems with just all kinds of health problems in America. And the FDA went back and said, "Hey guys, you need to stop doing this." And they said, "We're not doing it." Okay, why? Well, because they found out they could sell the wheat germ to farmers as cattle feed, okay, pet feed, whatever. And they had a market there. Then they had a market for the wheat flour that has nothing but starch in it, basically, that they were selling on the shelves. So they insisted they do something. So they started adding 3 vitamins back to your wheat. That's why if you go to the store, you'll see enriched wheat flour. Right, it's got 3 vitamins put back. They took out 30 of the vitamins. So we've decided to make our own bread, which I've been doing now for the last year almost. We buy no store-bought bread, and yet I've bought what I thought was a good quality wheat flour. And come to find out, it still has added chemicals, and it still has everything milled out of it. It's something I just recently became aware of. So we decided, after a lot of discussion, contemplation, that we would buy a wheat mill, and we would begin milling our own wheat and making fresh bread out of our own fresh ground wheat. So I'm going to be talking more about that in just a little while and sharing with that what our decision was as far as deciding on a mill and what we were doing to accomplish the end of getting us a healthier bread. Well, I'm back from my partially successful trip into town to go to Lowe's. Partially successful because when I got there, I was not able to get all the parts that I needed to install our dishwasher in our kitchen remodel we've been working on. So I wanted to take a break and show you one of the things that we've just purchased to help in our healthy nutritional lifestyle that we're trying to do here. We recently found out about milling your own grain. I mean, we were aware of it in the past, but to look at it in depth, we really didn't know a whole lot about it. So we started, of course, like everybody else, scrounging YouTube, watching everything that we could find. We started reading and studying, trying to find out what the real story was behind the YouTube videos and things, to see that. So we ended up buying our own grain milling machine that will take wheat or various other grains and mill that into usable flour for us. We bought the Nutrimill Impact machine, and one of the downsides of it, and we got one of the positive sides of it, is it's a 1200 watt heavy duty machine. Okay, it's a big motor. So if you're doing solar, you're generating your own electricity, that may be a pretty big pull for you to do that on there, depending on what your setup might be. It has a long-term lasting life use. People I've listened to and talked to about have used the same machines for years. Of course, this has only been out about a year, this particular machine, but the Nutrimill brand is got a tremendously good name to it. Anyway, this is a 1200 watt heavy duty motor, stainless steel impact milling heads. Doesn't use the stone heads, it uses impact milling heads. You'll have to look that up and see what that is if you don't know. It's got easily adjusted control for your different size, different textures of grains. It has a 12 cup flour bowl capacity and an 8 cup grain hopper, and it only weighs a little over 10 pounds, just barely over 10 pounds. So anyway, I wanted to unbox this somewhat and show you what all is included in this, and take a look at it. I haven't taken it out of the package yet, so it's been sitting here for a couple of days because we have been working on our kitchen, as you know. The box here tells us that you can mill dry or non-oily grains, such as legumes and seeds, whether it's smelt, mung beans, rye, buckwheat, lentils, millet, black rice, red white beans, red hard red wheat, hard white wheat, and you can do the soft wheats too in it, but you can't use anything that's got oil in it, like nuts. Okay, nuts have got oil in them. You can't do that. It will clog up the unit, and it's not going to be something you can take apart and clean. So you have to watch that. The let's see. One of the things it does have on here, I don't know if we can get this up where you can see it, but it has a picture of the heads here. You can see the heads on there. So let's see what it's talking about. The impact head, that the grain gets between those and it gets smashed, pulverized, I guess is a better word for that. But anyway, we're opening up the box here and see what we've got in this as far as the instructions in this. If I can get this thing out of the box. Let's see here. That's always a problem. They pack them so that they will not be damaged in transit, which is a good thing. It makes it somewhat more difficult getting them out, which is a good thing too. So here's the motorized unit right here. That has all your heads and your power and stuff in it. This is the canister side of it that goes together. Inside this you have the power cord, and you have the hopper that goes on top, and you feed your grain into it. So it goes up here. So, and this has to go down and be locked in before you can use it. So those are the parts that come in. It also has inside of here, it has this little canister that catches the fine grain when the powder that's generated by that. So it keeps the powder from coming out. It also has a sponge filter in here to keep the powdered flour from coming out into your room when you're doing the actual milling. So we will put this together, and it's got to go through a cleaning process. It has instructions in the manual for going through the cleaning process. Everything locks together, so you're not going to be losing anything. Let's see. One of the things it tells you to do is to run 2 cups of rice through it to begin with, to make sure all the if there's anything left in it from manufacturing, that it's cleaned out, and you don't have to worry about that. But you can do hard wheat, soft wheat, farro, rye, bulgur wheat, elkhorn wheat. One of the things I like the idea of is you can make your own cornmeal, and this says you can use corn, popcorn, blue corn, you can use dent corn, but in the things I've been watching, popcorn is supposed to mill easier and do a good job for making your own cornmeal. Of course, you can grind down, make rice flour, sorghum, millet, buckwheat, just all those things. You can do. Also, you can do beans if you want to use beans as a source of flour. Lentils, soybean, anasazi beans, mung beans, navy beans, black beans, kidney beans, split peas, pinto beans, etc. Anything that is a hard grain or legume that doesn't have oil in it. Do not mill, it says, rolled oats. Okay, you can do oat groats, but not oats that have already been milled. Don't do dried fruit or vegetables, sprouted grain. Do not do sesame seeds, flax seeds, sunflower seeds, coffee beans, chia seeds, spices, nut, goji beans, herbs, hemp, sugar, tapioca, chocolate. None of these things, because they have oil in them and they're going to clog the grinding heads up, and you can't get into it to clean it. Okay, you'd probably avoid the warranty by doing that if you have to send it back. One of the great things about this machine is it has a tremendous warranty on it. Okay, for any manufacturer defects in workmanship for 5 years, a limited warranty on the motor and milling heads. Not quite a lifetime, but from what I understand, people have had the Nutrimill machines for 10, 15 years and have never had a problem with them. It's a tremendous value for the machine. Now, why did I choose this particular machine? Why did we do that? Well, a couple of reasons. One, it does all the various grains. You have a knob on the back here that lets you choose the different settings as far as how fine you want it to be grained, or the grain to be ground. So you can do all these various things. But one of the key points is the cost value for this. Okay, this machine I think was $199, and I was able to use one of the YouTube channel producers discount code and get another $20 off of that, which paid for the shipping and tax for it. So it's very low cost, and it's been around for about a year now. So it's getting the work out. People are finding out how to use it, what to do with it, and how valuable this machine is. So I'm going to try to get it set up, and we will work on that and at least get it cleaned up and ready to go, because actually we used our last old bread today, and I need to cook some more bread, bake some more bread here. So we'll be dealing with that. Okay, we have the Nutrimill here. It's ready to go together. We got to run the cleaning process. First of all, going to put the hopper together, press that down, and lock it. Make sure there's no powdered rice powdered product comes out, and it just snaps in and locks in with this little tab right here. The machine will not run unless you put the hopper in, and it only goes in one way. It's got two little tabs that lock it in, put it down, and lock it in that way. Now the instructions say that you're supposed to run 2 cups of rice through it to clean the heads and make sure there's nothing left from the manufacturing process when they made it. So we're going to do that. We're ready to turn it on. See how quickly this does it. I had to turn it up to 3 to get the grinding head fast enough. It took about a minute and a half to run the rice through that to clean it. It's a very fast machine. We'll pull this out, and I noticed we've got a little bit of dust on the bottom of this. This is the filter to keep the dust from coming out into the room. It can be washed out. You open this little tab right here on the front, and then there's 2 thumb tabs right here on the sides. You can pull up against those, and that allows you to get the top off. And you shake it off a little bit to get the excess off the top. And I know you probably won't be able to see very much, but this probably made 2.5 cups of wheat or rice flour, and it's warm to the touch. It's from the milling process. But that's all there is to it. And then we'll go ahead and clean this up, and then do some wheat so that we can get a loaf of bread in for this afternoon.